In this class, we will talk about the coronavirus, which is very, very important. So, other miscellaneous viruses which we are concentrating, people who have entered, please put your name and roll number in the chat box, please, which is very, very important for your attendance. Okay, right. So, coming to the coronavirus. Okay, now coronavirus, everybody knows about corona. Can you anybody say coronavirus whether it is RNA virus or a DNA virus?
RNA.
Fantastic. RNA. Okay. Okay. Now, let me ask one simple question to you. What is this positive sense means? I have already told you. What do you mean by that?
A messenger RNA without.
Yes. Yes. Fantastic. Fantastic. I think everybody has understood the concept. Okay. When this single stranded RNA is labeled as positive sense, means it does not require any mRNA synthesis inside the cell. This itself will serve as a template for the protein synthesis. Very good, very good. I think you have caught the concept very correctly. And we know the coronavirus is an RNA virus. It is an enveloped virus. So all the alcohol-based sanitizers can kill this virus. Okay? Envelope, if there is envelope. Yes? Any questions? Okay, right. So all the enveloped viruses can be easily destroyed by corona, the alcohol-based hand rub. What do you mean by the term corona? Can anybody? Corona.
Crown.
Fantastic. Corona means it is looking like a crown. Okay. So it is like solar radiation. That is the spikes on the surface of the viruses. That's why they have labeled as corona. So when this virus enters, you see, my dear students, there are a lot of coronaviruses. Can anybody give me example apart from COVID-19, any other coronavirus has struck Saudi Arabia?
Middle East syndrome.
Yes, fantastic. Middle East respiratory syndrome is also caused by this coronavirus. And in Asia, there is another entity called SARS. Can anybody expand SARS? S-A-R-S, SARS?
South Asia.
Okay. Zia is making a guess. Okay, good. Severe acute respiratory syndrome. Okay, SARS. Okay. So all these viruses are coronaviruses, but basically there is some difference in their genome. Small mutation would have taken place, and that's why the viruses behaves more or less in a different way. Okay, let me take you through the coronavirus. The coronavirus, predominantly it causes a respiratory tract infection, but some viruses may cause intestinal diseases also. So coming from the upper respiratory tract till the lower respiratory tract, it can infect. So the mode of transmission is mainly droplet infection, but it can also spread through fecal-oral contamination. So the SARS, I told you, severe acute respiratory syndrome virus, and Middle East respiratory syndrome coronavirus commonly is transmitted through droplet infection. And if you take the IP means incubation period, it is more or less 3 to 5 days. But it may take up to 14 days, but it is 3 to 5 days. It enters the cell. How? Through this mechanism. Imagine this is the coronavirus. The coronavirus will have, I told you, this is the spike protein. My dear students, the spike protein is very, very important. Please don't forget the spike protein. The spike protein is responsible for the attachment of the virus with the host cell. And if you produce antibody against the spike protein, you will have immunity. So that's why the present COVID-19 vaccines are targeting this spike protein. Everybody understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, fantastic. So the spike protein is very, very important for the attachment with the host cell. This is the host cell. For example, it can be a respiratory tract epithelial cell or a lung epithelial cell. So, okay. So when the virus enters, the virus can enter by two mechanisms. Either its membrane can fuse with the cell membrane, or it can be endocytosed. Anything can take place. Soon after it enters, the RNA serves as a template for the viral polymerase. This is the enzyme. So this enzyme is responsible for converting the mRNA into lot of protein. Soon after the proteins are translated, okay, so this is the nucleus, okay, this is the nucleus. So some of the protein will be translated. Since it is an RNA viruses, most of the sequence, most of the translational part takes place in the cytoplasm. What other protein factory is there in the cytoplasm? Can anybody tell me what is the organ for protein synthesis?
Endoplasmic reticulum.
Endoplasmic reticulum. Fantastic. The endoplasmic reticulum is there in the cytoplasm, and Golgi apparatus is there in the cytoplasm. So everything will be done in the cytoplasm and the virus gets released. So this is the explanation given. You go through it carefully. If you have any other doubts, you can just contact me. Okay. So coming to, I think this is more than enough for you. Don't go into the depth of molecular level. Okay. So when the virus gets attached by spike protein, it gets internalized. So positive sense RNA is there. So straight away it goes through the viral polymerase. All the contents are synthesized in the cytoplasm, gets assembled and released. So this is the mechanism of replication of coronavirus. Okay. In general. Okay. Okay, now this slide is completed. Coming to the particular SARS-CoV. Okay, now the COVID-19 is called as SARS-CoV-2 because its genetic sequence is slightly different from this virus which occurred in China in 2002. Okay, there a lot of people lost their life because the virus produces a disease called as respiratory failure and pneumonia. So it will lead to higher morbidity and mortality. Okay, right. From where this coronavirus comes? It comes from bats. But till now we don't know how from the bats it is coming to the human beings. For example, if you take Middle East respiratory syndrome, these viruses are in the bats, but how it came to camel, we don't know. How from camel it is coming to human beings? We don't know. But this is basically a zoonotic disease. Can anybody tell me what is by zoonosis?
Zoo means like a farm or something like that.
Zoo means animal, from animal. So, okay, it comes from the animal. We agree that Middle East respiratory syndrome is a zoonotic disease because it comes to us from camel. But from camel, how it comes to us, we don't know. Because some people are treating camel as a holy animal. But how this camel got it from the bats? Till now, the transmission cycle is still not understood properly. Okay, right. So the Middle East respiratory syndrome for you can be asked as a short ACQ or it can be asked in MCQs. Okay. Coming to the next thing, epidemiology. Where it occurred in 2012 in Arabian Peninsula because most of the countries like Kuwait, Iran, Oman, Saudi Arabia, every country in the Arabian Peninsula got affected by this disease because camels are predominant here and they got infected and it's transmitted to the human beings. Okay, right. Now, what is this Middle East respiratory syndrome? Of course, you know, Middle East is Arabian Peninsula, but it is characterized by respiratory failure, multi-organ dysfunction. What do you mean by this multi-organ dysfunction? Anybody can tell me? What is mean by this multi-organ dysfunction? Anybody? Multi-organ. What do you mean by this multi-organ?
Numerous organs, not just one.
Okay. Not only the lungs,
Failure of organs.
but also yes, cardiac failure, renal failure, liver failure, that corresponds to this term. Multi-organ dysfunction. We don't know the exact mechanism by which this multi-organ dysfunction occurs. Lot of guess and lot of hypotheses are being made about this virus, because the virus was present only in Middle East region, and there were no satisfied research going on, because we are still not able to find why this virus came and why this caused all this problem and why it went off. Because we need to be prepared in future that this disease should not attack. Is it not? Is it not? Why we are having epidemiology? Why we are having epidemiology? Because we need to understand the disease properly so that this country should not get affected. Is it not? Do you want the disease to come again?
No.
Yes, obviously no. So how will you prevent that? We still don't know, because this syndrome was not researched to a certain extent that we are not able to find out the real fact behind this. Okay, no problem. Now, coming to the present scenario, lot of research are going on against this virus, COVID-19, that came from this. There are type A coronavirus, type B, type C, but type B is a killer now, and it is called beta coronavirus, which started from Wuhan, and slowly it is coming to the rest of the world. Now, second wave is going on around the world now. Because, can you anybody tell me why there is second wave?
No maintenance of social distancing.
Mutation is going on again and again. Why mutation is going on? Can anybody tell me?
Shift and drift.
Yes, fantastic, shift and drift, and there is continuous transmission from one person to another person. So that's why mutation is going on, transmission is going on, again and again people are infected, vaccine is going on. So everything is going on. God only will know when it will stop. Okay, right. Coming to the replication cycle, it is the same cycle as I already mentioned, but now we have identified that the receptor for COVID-19 is angiotensin converting enzyme ACE2 receptor. So why we want to know this receptor is we can use some drug to block this receptor from getting this virus being internalized, that is attached. And we are going to make some drugs which will inhibit this RNA polymerase enzyme. Can anybody tell me what is a drug said by Dr. Inbaraj during the webinar? Can you tell one drug here which will block the RNA polymerase? Anybody? You know the drug
Cyclovir.
Remdesivir. Have you heard of this?
Yes, yes.
Remdesivir. Yes.
They were using it at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yes, yes. So the MOH protocol, Ministry of Health in Saudi Arabia, they have authorized the usage of remdesivir for severe cases of COVID-19, which were admitted in intensive care units. Okay. Now, lot of cases are increasing, but now Saudi Arabia has controlled the COVID-19 infections because of the travel restriction and Hajj restriction. Now I think after vaccination, it will come down. Coming to the clinical condition, the COVID-19 stretches from mild to moderate illness to critical illness. So what is meant by mild? Mild means the patient is infected with COVID, but there is no oxygen needed for him and there is no evidence of pneumonia. What do you mean by pneumonia? Can anybody tell me? What do you mean by pneumonia? Anybody? What does it mean by pneumonia?
Lung infection.
Fantastic. Lung infection. Lung infection characterized by conversion of lung parenchyma, where the gaseous exchange takes place, to a solid structure characterized by increased secretion and fibrosis. Okay. So when the virus enters, the virus not only is restricted to the upper respiratory tract, it now reaches the lower respiratory tract and it has caused pneumonia. But here in mild to moderate illness, there are no oxygen requirements for the patient and there is no evidence of pneumonia. Only there is fever. That's all. The patient will take rest. His immunity will protect him. And above all, God will protect him and he will recover from the illness. But unfortunately, if the patient goes into pneumonia, that is called severe illness. He may require oxygen. Okay. So because it's blood saturation, you know what is meant by oxygen saturation? How it is measured? In the clinics we have taught. How the oxygen saturation in a patient is measured? Anybody? I think you have entered your clinical skills class and we have taken ECG. In the ECG class, I have mentioned one equipment which will be placed in the index finger. I think Ziad will answer. You know pulse oximetry, a probe, oxygen probe in the mannequin we have demonstrated. It will be placed in the, I will share with you the diagram. 1 minute. 1 minute. Pulse oximeter probe. Please, my dear students, you have to orient yourself with the practical part. Okay. 1 minute. I will share with you the diagram now. Okay. 1 minute. I will share with you the screen. Can everybody see the screen?
Yes, doctor.
Can everybody see now? Okay. What is mentioned on the apparatus? 98. What do you mean by 98?
Oxygen.
What is SpO2? Saturation of oxygen. And pulse rate is 65. Everybody see this?
Yes, doctor.
Yes. So this is called pulse oximeter and it measures the oxygen saturation. Okay. So when the patient comes to you with breathing difficulty, please measure oxygen saturation first, because if it is less than 90, you have to give him oxygen and look after the respiratory rate. What is the normal respiratory rate? Can anybody tell me in adult?
12 to 16.
26 is there in children.
12 to
Yes,
16.
12 to 16. Fantastic. 12 to 16. If it is more than 30, that means he is sick. He may require oxygen. Okay. Right. In critical condition, what is my ARDS? Can anybody tell me ARDS? Acute respiratory distress syndrome. What do you mean by SARS?
Severe
Okay.
acute respiratory.
Yeah, severe acute respiratory syndrome. Here ARDS means acute respiratory distress syndrome. Please don't forget these two words. Okay. So when the patient is going for ARDS, means it is critical. So mild is no pneumonia. Severe is with pneumonia. Critical means the patient has gone for ARDS and requires ventilation. Everybody saw how the ventilator looks like? Have you been to any hospital? Okay, I will share with you how the ventilator will look like. Okay. Have you seen in hospital, in ICUs?
Yes, doctor.
Fantastic. You will see more now because you are into the posting now. I will show you how the ventilator is looking like. Okay. Okay, this is a better diagram. I will share with you now. Can you see the ventilator here? Can you see this equipment?
Yes, doctor.
Yes, doctor.
Yes, this is the monitor, my dear students. You see why I am doing this is it is out of microbiology. I agree. But if you correlate clinically, you will remember more. Okay. So this is the tube which the patient will breathe. And this is the equipment which will give all oxygen and it will remove the carbon dioxide. Please, when you go to hospital, you please go concentrate on this equipment because it has saved a lot of people. Okay, right. So coming to the topic. Now, how will you diagnose coronavirus? Whenever there is virus, can anybody say what is the most sensitive and specific method to detect coronavirus?
RT-PCR.
Fantastic. RT-PCR. What do you mean by RT-PCR? Can anybody tell me?
Reverse transcriptase.
Fantastic. Reverse transcriptase PCR. Reverse transcriptase PCR is the best method to detect coronavirus, but it will take some time. So rapid methods are there, but this is the most confirmatory method. There is another method called ELISA method, which may take even more time, and electron microscopy can be done, but it is very, very laborious and it will not help us in diagnosis. Okay, right. Coming to any doubts in this till now? Any doubts in this till now? Can I move?
Move, Doctor.
Yes, fantastic. Now, how to prevent? I think you know better than me. Can anybody tell me how to prevent?
Social distancing, clean your hands, stay
Yes. Yes.
Take vaccine.
Then. Yes. Who said this? Take vaccine.
Saddam.
Satam, you are awesome, man. And you are catching the point there. Very good. Social distancing. Hats off to you. So this is the prime thing now which has to be done now, because we know this virus is very notorious to spread. We don't know how to prevent it till now, and we are beating our heads with all these things. What do you mean by surveillance? Can anybody tell me what do you mean by surveillance? What do you mean by surveillance?
Checking on the patient.
Fantastic. Checking on the patient who travels from one area to another area and restricting them from entering into one country into another country, because we want to limit the spread. So clinical surveillance and screening has to be done to check this virus. Okay. I think Dr. Sharma would have elaborated in the webinar. My dear students, this is the golden bullet now in our hand. So we have designed the vaccine and we have introduced the vaccine. Anybody vaccinated for COVID?
Actually, I have appointment after 1 hour, doctor, for vaccine.
All the best. All the best.
Thank you,
Nothing
sir.
will happen. I have got one shot and I'm waiting for the second one in May 22nd. Please get vaccinated because you will be protected at least 70 to 80%. Okay. So most of the people are worried about vaccine. We have conducted vaccination camp in Panda Mall now. And today evening, if you are interested, you can go and watch how the general public are being educated by our College of Medicine, by the final years and pre-final years. Please go and watch the campaign, at least for half an hour, okay, if you are interested. So basically, the vaccine is nothing but it's a modified virus. What is meant by modification? Can anybody tell me? We are injecting a part of the virus. Won't it cause the infection?
No.
Or how? Why you are saying no?
We're like injection, like just the envelope or.
Fantastic. We are injecting only the part of the virus and not the actual virus. It is the spike protein which you are injecting, and against the spike protein we get only immunity and not the disease. Everybody got the point? Dear students, you have to educate your father, mother, sister, brother, everybody. What do you mean by vaccine? Everybody got the point?
Yes,
I want a strong answer. Yes. Okay, right. Because the vaccination, lot of company, okay, now are coming up to vaccinate everybody to protect against this deadly disease. Because vaccine is the only solution which can prevent most of the infection. That's why our country Our kingdom is supplying the vaccine free of cost to everybody to get vaccinated. Please get yourself vaccinated. Right. Coming to the paramyxovirus. This is another virus in which we have got other content like RNA, the same one, but it causes a different sets of disease. What is this disease? We will see one by one. We have said about coronavirus, it has got a spike protein, but here it has got hemagglutinin. Where you have studied hemagglutinin, can anybody remember?
Influenza virus.
Fantastic. Hemagglutinin is same, but there is no neuraminidase. There is only fusion protein. Okay. So the N is missing here, only hemagglutinin. So the hemagglutinin will go and attach itself with the host cell, and the fusion protein will fuse the cell, will fuse the virus with the cell. Everybody got the point?
Yes.
Fantastic. What do you mean by negative sense RNA now? Can anybody tell me?
Since this is the mRNA,
Yes, it needs mRNA synthesis inside the cell for it to replicate. So that's why there is negative sense RNA in paramyxovirus and hemagglutinin. Neuraminidase protein is not present, but it contains only hemagglutinin. But the protein is called as HN protein. Okay, HN protein. But instead of neuraminidase, there is fusion protein. Fusion protein is very, very important for paramyxovirus. Okay, right. Now, there are a lot of paramyxoviruses. I will tell you the important one. I will highlight this: mumps, measles, RSV. Along with that, this is less important, but it causes some disease like croup. Can you just read this word? C-R-O-U-P, croup. What do you mean by croup? The patient will go for laryngotracheobronchitis. This is the most important disease caused by human para-influenza virus 1 and 2. It causes a disease in the young children called croup. This is an important MCQ question, my dear students. So croup is caused by human para-influenza virus. Okay, everybody understood? Do you want me to repeat? I'm waiting for you. Can I go?
yeah.
Fantastic. Nice. So all this replication, you know, please study by your own. If you want any help, you can contact me. So the virus goes and attach, it goes inside, protein synthesis takes place, and the virus is released. All these things I have explained here. Okay. Now, coming to the important point, I will tell you, I already told you the hemagglutinin is for attachment and the fusion protein is for fusion of the lipid, the membrane of the virus with the membrane of the host. Okay, right. Coming to the transmission, all the respiratory viruses are transmitted by droplet infection. I told you, my dear students, the fusion protein. What is the function of the fusion protein? Fusion of the membrane. That's why it produces syncytial formation. Respiratory syncytial virus is an important member of this para-influenza group, which produces syncytium. Syncytium means fusion of 1 or 2 cells. Okay, you got the point? You got the point? Right. Okay. Now coming to this disease, you can read on your own. I have already told you. Coming to the respiratory syncytial virus. This is also a member of the paramyxo group, but the important point I am saying, it produces a typical syncytial formation. This is very important, my dear students. It can be asked in one word, MCQ. Which of the following viruses produces syncytium formation? If you ask RSV, this is an important answer. Okay. Now, coming to the structure of the RSV, it is the same as para-influenza group. Okay. But it lacks the neuraminidase. I already told you, paramyxo group. Okay. This is an important feature of this RSV. Coming to the transmission. So the respiratory syncytial virus is also, can you see the syncytium here? More than one nucleus. Can you see a bigger cell?
Yeah.
Yes. The syncytium formation is very, very important for RSV. Okay. Coming to the mode of transmission, it's again droplet infection, and you can read here. In this slide, the word bronchiolitis is very, very important. The word bronchiolitis. Can you see this child? How old is this child? Can anybody guess? How old is
3
this
months.
child? Yes, it can be few weeks to months. So the respiratory syncytial virus is the commonest cause for bronchiolitis and pneumonia in infants under the age of 1. This is a very important MCQ question. If anybody asks you, what is the important virus, respiratory virus, which is common among the infants and they're under the age of 1, what answer you will give?
RSV.
Fantastic. You should not say as COVID-19. Please don't say, because COVID-19 is common only in the older age group, more than 16 to adults and older age. But if you take an infant or the neonates, respiratory syncytial virus is the commonest virus which causes bronchiolitis and pneumonia. Please answer like this, my dear students, because respiratory syncytial virus is common in this age group and in immunocompromised patients. Okay, right. So the reinfection is very common in respiratory syncytial virus because there are a lot of strains of respiratory syncytial virus. So there is no lifelong immunity. Again and again, you can get infected. Everybody understood?
Yes.
Fantastic, right. Now, again, coming to the diagnosis, you know, syncytium formation is a very important part in the cytopathic effect, and all the secretions from the upper respiratory tract and nasopharyngeal aspirate is used as a sample. You can detect the virus by immunofluorescence, or you can detect the virus by cytopathic effect or by ELISA. Everybody understood this slide? Any information you want? I'm waiting for you. Okay?
Continue this.
Okay, fantastic. Now, coming to the other virus, there is nothing more in that except this virus, human metapneumovirus, causes rhinitis in some patients or bronchiolitis. But when it comes to bronchiolitis, which virus you should remember?
RSV.
Fantastic, RSV. Apart from that, there is nothing much to explain on this slide, my dear students. Everything is for MCQ. For completion sake, since it is in your core objective, I have taken this slide. Nothing more than that. Okay? Right. So these are my references. Please go back and read the slide one by one. If you have any doubts at any point of time, you can contact me. This includes Chakra students also. If you have any doubts at any point of time, please contact me either by Telegram or by WhatsApp, and we will be happy to assist you. Thank you for your time. I think most of the students I would have posted your chat in the chat box. Okay. I think one of the students is asking the question. 1 minute. What is the thing that determine whether the virus will affect the upper respiratory tract and lower? Fantastic question. He is asking whether what is the determination factor which whether the virus will affect upper or lower. So my dear student, you see, when the virus gets attached, it is their replication factor temperature. For example, we talked about rhinovirus. The rhinovirus replicates actively at 33 degrees. But when it goes to the core temperature, that is inside the lungs, it will not replicate that much. So it depends upon a lot of factors, and one of the factor is the optimal temperature for viral replication. Second thing is that the virus will attach itself only with the receptor specific for it. For example, COVID-19. The COVID-19 will attach itself only in the presence of an ACE2 receptor. So depending upon various factors, one is temperature, another one is receptor. I think I would have answered the question. If you say yes, you can type in the chat box as yes. Okay. Okay. Very good. Thank you very much for your patient listening. And I am glad to help you at any point of time. Thank you. Thank you so much.